Yes, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Finally, we made it. Did you think I'd gone forever? Did you think you'd lost me forever and ever? But like that, that bad penny that just keeps popping up. Here I am, and I'm popping up. Please excuse my voice. I'm not sort of keep losing it, and my cough and all of that stuff. But anyway, here we are. So, so before we begin proper, first of all, I'd like to say good morning to my spirit guide, Grey Eagle. Yes, you didn't lose him either. He's still here, and I'd like to say good morning to Chris. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Rosemary. Good morning, everyone.
And I have Mary Lou with me. So good morning, Mary Lou.
Good morning.
Good morning. And so here we are, and we are raring to go. If I lose my voice in the middle of all of this, well, I know you won't mind. You'll love me anyway. I know that. So, Chris, the question that we all want to know is
So we had some early birds on already before we even went live, Gary
Right.
and Maggie.
Hi, Gary. Hi, Maggie.
And I can see Annika and Julia and Kay are on. So the people are just logging in right now. Everybody's saying that they've missed you. They're so happy that you're on. And Happy New Year.
Oh, my goodness. Happy New Year. That's been and got, feels like such a long time ago. Excuse me, feels like such a long time ago that it was New Year. And of course, what else came and went? Something else came and went. Of course, this month it's special for me because it's my grandson's birthday. He should be 11 years old on Monday. And of course, 2 days later, we have Valentine's Day. Don't we? I don't have a Valentine, except that I do have my daughter and my grandson. And of course, I sent them. Oh, yeah, Chris.
Yes.
I can hear you tapping away.
Interesting.
I don't know what's going on. Are you tapping? Are you typing?
I'm answering questions in the chat room, but I can put myself on mute.
Okay. Well, I can hear the tapping away there. So, all right. Well, anyway, it is what it is. We're going to take this morning, however it comes. I'm going to just shift my bum a little bit. And it's nice to have everybody here. But as everybody knows, it's your turn. Here I am. You have not been here forever, it seems. So here I am to answer any questions you might have. Of course, I have the right to ignore your questions or to just simply say I'm not going to answer. But so do we have any questions whatsoever going at the moment?
We do not.
Come on, everybody. Get going. Now, let me think. Oh, yes. While I'm waiting for questions, and if they don't come, I shall quit because it's not easy for me to talk without coughing at the moment. So, right. So, I will, yes.
Isn't it Chinese New Year this Saturday?
Is it? Yeah. So, yes. I was going to mention it, but Mary Lou reminded me to talk about this because it is important to me. It may be important to some of you out there, but it's important to me because this coming weekend is Chinese New Year. It is the year of the dragon, I'm told. And, when I was in Hong Kong many, many times to celebrate Chinese New Year. And I have to tell you that those celebrations were unbelievable. They were amazing. Fireworks everywhere. We would go down to the water and the boats would be out and fireworks would be blazing. Everybody was partying and it was so much fun. The crowds were out, excuse me, in force. And I was with my friend, one of my friends, Kay, the one K, not the other K, and we would stand on the dock with her kids and watch the fireworks. I think we were once on a boat watching the fireworks from the water, which was amazing. And so I know that Chinese New Year is very important to many people, especially, of course, the Chinese. The Year of the Dragon, now the dragon is a symbol of power, of strength, and all that good stuff. I mean, it's just, you know, unbelievable. It's an unbelievable power symbol. And I'm just looking, and I'm wearing the wrong. If I'd have thought about it, I would have worn the right necklace, because I have another necklace similar to this one, but instead of this that's on here, it symbolizes the phoenix and the dragon and the phoenix. I'm muttering away here, and the phoenix and the dragon together are a great symbol of power, and a great power symbol if you're somebody who likes to use power symbols, as I do. So power symbols are great for people if you're stressed, if you're worried, if you're looking for power, if you're feeling powerless. Using your power symbol is a very important thing. Maybe one day we'll do a lesson on how to find your power symbol and how to use your power symbol. My power symbol, although the phoenix and the dragon and the phoenix are very important, my actual power symbol is an eagle feather. I surprised you, didn't I? I shocked you when I said that. You would never have known. Anyway, my power symbol is the feather, and I use it in times when I do feel powerless, or when I just need that little boost, or when I need a reminder. And I can hear some of you saying, "What do you mean use it? How do you use it?" So maybe one day, in the not too distant future, we'll have a little session where I can actually show you all and talk to you all about how to use your power symbol to great effect. Right, so Saturday is Chinese New Year this weekend. There'll be celebrations all over the world, wherever there are fabulous celebrations to be had. Usually, if you're close to somewhere, for instance, in New York, I know they have Chinatown in many of the cities, not just in America, but in many cities around the world, they have a Chinatown. So find your Chinatown and go down there. If you will, make sure you keep your purses tight to you. You know, wherever there are crowds, we have to say that these days, unfortunately. But if you can find a celebration, it's so amazing. The flourish and the creativity and the displays it's amazing. If you can get to see something like that, it's really, truly fabulous. Chris, we must have some questions now.
We're getting some comments and questions, yes. So
Sorry?
I'm going to start. We are getting comments and questions.
Okay, go.
So Bill says, "Happy Valentine's Day, you
Hi, Bill.
beautiful angel from your New York City angel."
Oh my gosh. I think I know who this is. How are you, Bill? Where have you been? Yes, I know Bill, my angel, my umbrella, I think. Bill? Yes? The rain, the umbrella? Let me know if I've got it right. Chris, keep going.
Annika says one of her Christmas gifts was your cookbook.
Oh, really? Who said that?
Annika.
Annika. Oh, right. Well, Annika, I hope you're using it. I mean, you have to let me know which recipe have you used, maybe one or two, or maybe even more, and how do you like it? And the pictures are fantastic in there as well. It's not just a cookbook. It's pictures of myself, my family, my daughter, my grandson. They're coming fairly soon to visit me. We're trying to get the piano tuned before Reese comes. He's got a recital in March. at Carnegie. Once again, he's been invited to Carnegie Hall on March the 3rd. If anybody is in or around the New York area, you can get tickets to see, to see and to hear all of the great musicians that will be playing there on March the 3rd. Okay. All right, Chris, keep going.
Barb wants to know, Rosemary, what have you been doing?
Lots of things. What have I been doing? I've been doing lots and lots and lots of things. I don't quite understand the question. We could be here for the next 2 hours if I actually tell you what I've actually been up to. But one of the things I've been doing, which is amazing to me, and it shows the strength of will and whatever. I've actually, believe it or not, knitted Reese a sweater. I'm just finishing the neckline. I was hoping to have it. I was hoping to be able to send it to him last weekend, but anyway, it is what it is. But can you look? Can you imagine? It's been I've never taken this long to knit one sweater in my life, but persevere I do, and grit through stuff and grit through the pain and everything. And I'm so pleased with myself. I'd go and fetch it for you, but it's going to be too hard on my back, so I'm not going to get it for you to look at. But I mean, isn't it? It's fantastic because I'm still working on playing the piano. I'm fine, except when I need to push my thumb underneath. But there we are. That's what I've been doing, slowly but surely, getting myself better. Yes. Okay, Chris, next.
Rosa says, good morning.
Morning,
The-
Rosa.
The other day I was in my car and heard 3 knocks. This happened 3 times.
Oh, yes.
Just wondering if my husband did that.
Well, Rosa, if you're thinking that, I'm thinking yes. We know the 3-time rule. If you hear it once, maybe, yes, okay. If you hear it twice, pay attention, but this isn't it? But if you hear it three times, accept. Just accept and move on with it. And that applies not just to hearing, but to seeing, to feeling. If an incident happens one time, I always play by the 3-time rule. I've used the 3-time rule since I was young. I can remember when Samantha was a little girl, if I told her twice, please don't do that, that's fine, that's the warning. If I have to tell you twice, watch it now, pay attention, because if I have to tell you 3 times, 3 times is when the consequences happen. So the 3-time rule is always a good rule. So Rosa, I'd take it if I were you. Chris.
All right, this is from Wayne. Hi, Rosemary. I'm glad you're feeling better. Glad your cough is better. My question is, how is my dad? He passed on Christmas. Much respect and love to you and Grey Eagle.
Well, darling, thank you for all of that. And I'm listening. Grey Eagle has actually put his his hand on my shoulder. And I'm to tell you that your dad is fine. You're asking about your dad. Your dad is fine. Oh, that he's flying. I think that's a good thing. I think that Grey Eagle means by that he's doing really, really well and enjoying meeting up with his family, with his friends, and so on and so forth. So I think it's safe to tell you that he's made it over and he's A-okay. Chris.
Kay says, my dragon and phoenix are on my wall. Double happiness, double happiness.
Yes, absolutely. That's my mantra. Double happiness, double happiness, double happiness. I don't know. I might have told this story somewhere in the house. I don't know where it is right now. I have I don't know quite what it's called. It's a hanging, and it's sort of a wooden plaque. And in the center of the wooden plaque is jade, and then carved into the jade is a phoenix and a dragon. the Chinese use the phoenix and the dragon in celebrations together very often for weddings and things like that. So, but the two together, when you see the dragon and the phoenix together, it usually denotes happiness. And when you see them, I always think of double happiness. So I will tell you this story. So this particular day, and I'm going back years, but I can still remember it very clearly. Going back years, I had laundry and I'd folded a stack of towels in my hands, and I'm carrying them, and I wanted to hang this plaque, very heavy, you can imagine, with jade in the center. I put it on the top of the tiles, balance it on the top of the tiles. It's sort of like a big flat disc. And I'm walking up the stairs, and I managed to get to the bedroom. And as I go to put the towels on the bed, the thing slips off the bed and lands right across my the toes of my right foot. And all I could do was, I was hopping around on one foot, gritting my teeth, saying, double happiness, double happiness, double happiness, double happiness, trying to get over the pain. It worked. Eventually the pain went away. But yes, double happiness is very, 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 it's a very powerful and very meaningful symbol. Certainly to me, and I'm glad, my darling, it's, yeah, good. Good for you too. Good for you. Okay, Chris.
Shamanth says good morning to you.
Good morning, Samantha. How are you?
Tracy says, yay, you're back.
Yay! Yes, I must apologize to so many people for not being around, having to cancel a few things. Losing my voice on and off has not been great. But anyway, hopefully hopefully I'm back and on the mend, and we'll move forward. Okay.
All right. Then Mark says, last week I felt Gage and Gidget, my fur kids, jump in bed with me. And a little while later, I heard Gage shake his body, and the tiny bell I had on his collar shook. Does Gray Eagle have a message from them? I miss them dearly.
Mark, not right now, but you know that you're being cared for, right? You know that your angels are surrounding you right now, and I'm excited for you. Keep going, Chris.
Annika says, my first dinner date with my love Neil was on a Chinese New Year, which also happened to be Valentine's Day that year.
That's right. Okay. Wow. Oh, what a memory then. Wow. That's great. I take it that it worked out really, really well. And what a great memory to have. Chris.
Bill says, Rosemary, I lost my dad about a year ago. We weren't very close when I was younger, but have felt him with me so much in the years since he left this world. Did he have anything to do with the mix-up at the cemetery?
All I'm hearing is everything to do with the mix-up at the cemetery. So I'm afraid your dad was interfering with whatever it was that was going on. He thinks it's funny. I'm not sure that you did, but apparently he said he had everything to do. You've got to tell me this story at some point. He had everything to do with the mix-up at the cemetery. Yeah. Just letting you know he's around.
All right. And Bill did confirm that he is the umbrella angel.
I thought so. So nice to hear from you after all this time, my darling.
All right. Then we have Shamanth saying, since you mentioned about power symbols, could you tell us how to find our power animals and how to connect with them?
Yeah, I think, Shamanth, I think it's something that maybe we could do. Maybe we could have a session one time, and we could set something up via Zoom or something maybe, and have a session where we could talk about power animals and power symbols, because I think especially today with everybody doubting, so many problems, so many issues. People are worrying so much about so many different things. I think knowing your power animal and knowing your power symbol can be extremely helpful in helping us all to cope with what life brings us. So I think we'll do the symbols and the animals together. Why not? Okay.
All right, then there's from Maggie. I've been having dreams where I seem to be included, but I feel I'm just watching and not part of it. Is this possible, where one can dream of something that is not for the dreamer?
Yes, it is very possible. Okay, keep going.
Let's see. Then we have Gary saying, I have found reviewing your old exercise notes keeps me from thinking about these crazy political times.
Well, it's funny that you should say that, Gary, because I was looking at some of those um, exercises and the lessons that we did, and I mean, they're so good, aren't they? They're amazing. The people who have never had experience of my lessons or never been a part of being a student of mine, you know, maybe we should start something up online so that other people could share in these things, and maybe you could join us and even talk about your experiences as a student of mine. Oh, do I really want you to do that though? Of course I do. Yes, I do. You know that, Gary, that there was a time when my friend Mary Lou, I told you she's sitting right here, she didn't believe in your existence. I would talk about Gary and talk about, you know, my friend Gary and this and that. And at one point she said to me, you know, I don't really believe there is such a person as Gary because I've never seen him. Sort of a little bit like Jesus with the holes in the hands. You know, I've got to see it to believe it. But here you are. Do you believe it now? Do you believe in the existence of Gary Marilou?
Yes. Hi, Gary.
Okay, keep going, Chris.
All right. Kay says, every time I have to be up early, I always ask for an early call from Spirit. Well, they always knock loudly in my house 4 times. I am still amazed that they listen.
Well, as long as we're talking to them, of course, listening and they're replying as well. It's sort of, we don't always hear the replies, or we wish they would be clearer or stronger. Yeah, I mean, what I do if I need to get up early in the morning, I actually I put it in my head, and I always wait a few minutes before I'm due to wake up. So, yeah, I mean, I always beat the alarm, or, always, almost always in my life. I've always beaten the alarm, because if I'm setting the alarm, I'm also setting it in my head as well, which is a good thing. Chris.
All right, then we have Barbara, who says our 14-year-old cat is having some health issues and bit me last week. First time ever.
Oh.
Since then, I've been very sick from it, taking strong antibiotics. She's wondering if her husband Don is near and what's going on with the cat and what should she do.
I think a trip to the vet and a trip to the doctor are in order. But taking antibiotics, you must have been to the doctor. But I think you need to pay attention. I think this little kitty's trying to tell you something. As owners, we don't want to hear that, do we? We just don't want to hear it. We love our pets. We want them to live as long as possible. We want them to be with us as long as possible. I can assure you, my puppies, and sometimes there are a host of them, but my puppies, I can assure you, are often with me. They often make themselves known. And even as I'm talking to you, I've got this Cachorro sitting here with me, yes, and a few others as well. I know it's hard, but we have to listen to our animals. You say this is the first time she bit you. I think she's trying to tell you that maybe something's not quite right with her, something's going awry with her, and maybe a trip to the vet for a once over a checkup. But we have to listen to our pets. We have to. I can remember one of my puppies just sort of sitting and looking at me one day, and I knew that there were issues. I knew there were problems. I just didn't want to know. So we turn a blind eye. Animals can't tell us when they're in pain. The, you know, the myth that, a dog will howl or a cattle, whatever, yowl or cry. No, they're very resilient. Our animals are very resilient, and they can be in pain for a long time. And we as humans don't even know. We're not even aware of what's going on with them. So I think that this is what I was going to say to you. My cat is 14 years old. And I think you must have known that I was going to say to you, pay attention, because I think maybe it's not going to be too much longer now. And I think your kitty is trying to say to you, can you help me here? Sometimes as owners, the only thing we can do to help is to make that decision for them. But the responsibility of owners is that we cannot, under any circumstance, allow our animals to be in pain. So once we know that something's going on, that's when we should do something about it. I'll hold your hand, I promise. Okay, Chris.
All right. Then we have Annika saying, I am watching your rings. Do they have any special meaning? I usually see you wear your emerald ring.
Yes, well, no, they're just nice rings. I don't know how clearly you can see them, but they're just nice, flashy. I love them. Anyway, no, they don't have any. Well, except I like them. They don't have any particular meaning. My emerald ring I left in New York City with my daughter, not deliberately, I can assure you. She was the one ring that I have some nice rings. The one ring that she covets above and beyond all others is my emerald. She literally covets the ring. I mean, she sits and stares at it whenever I wear it. She'll ask to try it on, and I left my if you notice my jewelry, I left my watch and my ring in New York. When I was there before, I left all of my jewelry, and my daughter called me up. She said, "Did you forget? Did you forget something?" I said, "I don't think so. What did I forget?" She said, "How about all of your jewelry?" Oh, okay then. So, so I took most of my jewelry with me. I left my watch and my emerald ring, and I don't trust my daughter to have not worn it, but she wears it on pain of death, I can assure you. Anyway, she'll be bringing it with her. The next time you see me wearing it, you'll know that she actually brought it back. But I do love that ring, and I designed that ring myself. It's not nobody else, nobody gave me these. I bought them myself because that's, hey, what can you do? But the emerald, I've always loved emeralds, and my daughter has green eyes, my grandson has green eyes, I have green eyes. What better stone than an emerald? And so I can remember many years ago finding a jeweler and designing the ring, and finding that emerald, which is it's actually lovely emerald. Anyways, and it's there you are. That's it. No, nothing. No, got nothing except I like when the sun hits them, right? It's rainbows everywhere. Chris.
All right. Then we have a question from Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
In the future, do you think your grandson will carry the torch and keep Grey Eagle's wisdom flowing?
I do, actually. I think I'm not sure how much he will be involved in this world of mine, but he talks to Grey Eagle. He was 2 or 3 nights ago. He called me and he said, "Not feeling very well, Nosy." I said, "Okay, darling." He said, "Could you ask Grey Eagle to send me some healing?" I said, Well, you need to ask him yourself. He said, yes, but Mama says that if you ask, it's going to be stronger. And I said, no, darling, it will be just the same. And I said, it might be a nice idea for you to get to know Graydon and talk to Graydon. He sees Graydon, he does know Graydon, he talks to Graydon. So, I think he'll always have that. I think he'll always understand this world of ours. Uh, how much he will do as he gets older, I don't know. Samantha, my daughter, was never particularly interested. All she could see was her mum sitting in a room all day, every day long, not. And then I started to travel, and then she thought, oh, well, maybe there's more to this then. But no, I think that Reese definitely has the gift, as does my daughter. Reese definitely has the gift. Fairly strong, I think. So let's wait and see. I'm not going to push him either way. It's going to be his decision at the end of the day.
All right, Shamant is asking, is there any message from my ancestors?
Not today. Not today, because no, I mean, no, not today. Okay, Chris, keep going.
Petra says, good to see you again, Rosemary. How's your hand?
Hi, Petra. It's all right. What can I tell you? Look, I'm knitting very slowly and very painfully. It's much better. I was supposed to have surgery this month, but for whatever reason, it did not come about. But I'm probably going to have surgery in the summer, maybe in the summertime. I need to make sure that I've got someone here taking care of me, and my daughter's going to be doing that for me. So okay, so keep going, Chris.
So she continued, I recently did a course on NRT, Neural Reset Therapy, in the Netherlands, developed by Lawrence Woods. He's living in Tucson, USA.
Okay.
Maybe this therapy can do something for your hand. This therapy resets in a very simple way muscles.
Oh, okay. I would certainly be interested. It's my bones that are ruined. My thumb, my knuckle bone on my thumb, that is ruined. But muscles can do amazing stuff. So let me know. Send me some info.
Tracy says, gosh, this is happening with my pup at the minute. She's a 15-year-old golden cocker. That is just what I needed you to say, Rosemary.
Oh, isn't it hard? It's so tough. Do you have cocker spaniels? I love cocker spaniels. Pichoro was a cocker, and he was bred for the field. Feather was a cocker. I mean, they are fabulous dogs. The problem with having animals, with any pets of any kind, no matter what they are, if we love them, there comes that time, and we have to listen to our puppies, and we have if you're going to have an animal, when you decide to have an animal, you should be committed to doing the best for them, even if we want what we want. We have to let them go. I had to make that decision with Pichoro. It was painful. I had to make that decision with Nino. I had to make that decision with Hana. So incredibly painful, heartbreaking, but I still have them here with me. I know that they're around me, and I'm fortunate enough to see them. Just got a glimpse of me. That's so nice. Anyway, so here we are. I have Cachorro and I have Nino, who were always best friends, followed each other about like crazy. Nino hated with a vengeance. Nino hated when Cachorro came into the house. He really disliked him intensely because, of the jealousy thing. He would, every time Cachorro tried to get close to him, growl or snarl, push him away. And and slowly but surely, Cachorro would creep and slowly get closer and closer until in the end he won Nino over, and then they became the best of friends. They adored and worshipped each other. In fact, when it was time for me to put Nino to sleep, I can remember coming home. I'd left Cachorro. I was staying at a friend's house. I left Cachorro in the house, and we got out of the car and came out of the house, around the around and around the car looking for Nino, and he did that for at least a couple of weeks. Every time I come home, he was searching for where his pal was. It was heartbreaking to see it, but at the same time, as owners, that's our job. Okay, Chris.
Mark says, after I have passed into the spirit world, is it possible I may be someone's spirit guide? Does Grey Eagle have any answer to this?
You have to, Mark, you have to wait and see, because there'll be, I think, many opportunities in different ways for you to choose from. And, so I think that you have to, that's your journey to deal with. And it's not our place to tell you what that journey might be, could be, or possibly will be. That these are your choices to make. Stop being in such a hurry. Okay, Chris.
Rhonda's asking Rosemary, what do you think of using crystals and stones in healing? I recently went into a rock shop with so many beautiful stones, and a person working there said she uses crystals and stones for healing. I bought several because they are so pretty.
Okay. There is a way to choose. I actually think crystals are brilliant. They can, they can channel energy. I think they're a brilliant tool, but there's a way to choose. And maybe we should have all of this stuff. We should have some sessions, and I can help you in this regard. I'm glad that you bought them, that they're pretty, but you might want to take a moment to hold each one and to feel each one and to feel the energy of each one. I have 2 crystals sitting in my bedroom, which I used to use on occasion for healing, but they can be an amazing tool. But first of all, you need to know how to choose, and then you need to know how to use. So obviously we're going to have some teaching sessions. Okay, keep going, Chris. My voice is fading.
I can hear that. Annika says, last year you talked about doing another workshop with Grey Eagle. Do you still have anything planned?
Not planned, but we're certainly not giving up on the idea. And yes, as soon as I can get my voice back, we'll be thinking of doing these things. Yes.
Caroline says, hello, Rosemary. It's good to see you.
Hi.
Any messages for me from our beloved dog, Rocky, a boxer? He passed in 2009 from a brain tumor. Please tell him we love him very much.
I'm not going to tell him, Karen. You can tell him yourself. I mean, he will hear you so much more clearly and so much more. He'll be so much more connected to you. I'm sure that he's fine. Grey Eagle has his hand on my shoulder. It seems to be an animal show today. We're talking about pets and things today. But I'm told, Grey Eagle tells me to tell you he's fine. The tumor is gone. There's something about the tumor that he's talking to me about. I don't know if it was there, then seemed to go away and then came back again. I'm not quite sure what that is about that, but I'm told to tell you that, and I'm told to tell you that you're not to worry about him. He's fine. Okay, Chris.
Janet is asking, are you coming to the UK this year? And we had another one in your emails during the week asking, are you coming to Italy this year?
Well, it so happens that I've been invited to a wedding at the end of May, or the end of June, I can't remember. Anyway, sometime this year. And I'm trying, it was at the end of June, trying to sort something out. And if I manage to do that, then I'll let you all know, and we'll see if we can organise an event or something. Italy, I'd love to come to Italy. If anybody wants to organise an event, let me know, because I have to have other people organise in the countries that I go to, because I'm not able to organise things myself. It's too far, too great a distance. So if anybody wants to invite me, go ahead and invite me and organise an event or whatever it is, and we'll see what we can do. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, keep going. Did I lose you, Chris? Hello?
No, that was me forgetting to come back off of mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Starla Tech is saying, "Good morning, Rosemary. Do you see any
Who was that?
Starla Tech, one word, StarLitecc.
Wow. What a fabulous name. Okay, now I'm going to say right now, I don't see anything. That's not what I'm doing today. I'm just, if you'll forgive me, I'm just trying to come slowly back into this, and I'm having difficulty with my voice at the moment, so I'm struggling just a little bit. So, but I'm so appreciate the fact that you're here, and I so appreciate the question. So don't give up. Okay, Chris.
All right. Petra says, "I'm glad Rosemary is interested in NRT. I saw miracle things happening during this course.
Wow.
It is worth to try before thinking on an operation. Will it not help? An operation can always be done."
Well, I'd love to know more about it, Petra, as I've said. So that's great. So send me what you have. Let me know where I need to go to find out more about it.
Leslie's asking, "Do animals have spirit guides?"
Oh gosh, I never thought that I'd hear a question that I haven't heard before, but that is certainly a question that I've never heard before. No. I'm listening here. So I was curious about it. I'm thinking, now, do they? And Greta was chuckling away. Says no. They have, when they come to this earth, they have us. And however we help them, and they teach us, but we teach them as well. We connect our energy. Sometimes owners are not what they should be, as we all know that, but still, they have that learning process as much as we do. Interesting. How to think on that a little bit more. I like that. Chris.
Caroline said, "Thank you, Rosemary. We loved our Rocky so much. Thank you and Gray Eagle for telling us he's fine. It means a lot."
Good. I'm glad. And thank you for asking.
And that's the last question I have, Rosemary.
Okay. Well, is it nearly time?
Yeah, 15 minutes left of your normal hour.
All I'm going to say while you're all listening then is, if you don't ask a question, we're going to quit. My voice wants to quit now, but I'll keep going if there are questions, or even just comments, or if somebody has a story to tell. Okay. But if you keep it coming, I'll keep going till 12. So it's your choice, everybody. Okay, Chris.
Caroline says, "If it's possible, can you connect with my childhood friend Randy, who passed in 2001? If so, please tell him I'm sorry I didn't give him a chance."
I'm not going to be able to connect with him today, Carolyn, but I can tell you what I want to say this, and I think it's this is a good moment. When you say I want to tell him I'm sorry and I didn't give him a chance. Okay. there are so many of us who we have fallouts, we have, anger issues. We stop talking for one reason or another, or somebody stops talking to us for one reason or another. Families we all know that families are famous for it, because most families are, let's face it, a bit dysfunctional. Some are a lot more than a bit dysfunctional. But life happens every day. Unexpected things can occur. The problem is that we're so involved in life, or computers or TV or whatever it is we're involved in, we forget how tenuous life is. We forget how fragile we are as human beings, and we forget. And it's ridiculous. Perhaps it's because we don't want to remember. Perhaps it's because we don't want to face our fragility. But we forget how fragile this life of ours is, and it can end in a moment. Now, those of you who have experienced this, and I know there are many of you out there have experienced, how many times have you heard someone say there was nothing wrong with him, he was fine, and he suddenly just dropped dead? How many times have we heard, he was driving on the motorway, or she was driving on the motorway, and bang, and that was the end? How many times have we heard of accidents that have occurred, ridiculous accidents, accidents that we can't even imagine were possible? How many times have we ourselves, or have we known of people who have lost someone suddenly, like in a heartbeat? That heartbeat stops beating. So what I say to all of you out there, and I'm very sorry, darling, that you've had this issue, and I'm sure that your friend is very aware of how you're feeling. But what I want to say to everybody, and take this opportunity to tell everybody, is this. If you have a problem with someone you love, don't stop talking to them. Talk more. Reach out to the people that you care about. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't think, I was going to call them yesterday, but then I forgot, and now they're dead. I'll never be able to call them again. Please don't put yourselves in that position. Write a letter. If you can't pick up the phone and talk to somebody, then write them a letter, or just send them a card saying, thinking of you, I love you. You don't have to get into a great lengthy conversation with anybody if you don't want to. People are, I'll only say sorry to him if he says sorry to me. Get a grip. Really, what kind of an attitude is that? It's lousy. What kind of an attitude is it that, that you hold on to your anger and your frustration because of some perceived wrong that somebody did to you? How many times have we, if we've had the courage to talk about it, have we ourselves misunderstood what somebody said to us, or not necessarily misunderstood, but not being big enough or understanding enough to realize that in that moment of hurt and in that moment of pain, maybe that person was going through a lousy time and just wanted to lash out at somebody, and you happen to be that somebody they lashed out at. We need to, in this life of ours, we need to make the most of it and the best of it. And part of making the most of it and the best of it is setting to rights old grudges, setting to rights arguments and upsets, reaching out. Don't wait for somebody else to reach out to you. It could be too late. Before they reach out, they could be dead. So if you have an issue or a problem with somebody and you love them, and you would think about this, how would I feel if they died before I made it up with them? But answer yourself honestly. Don't answer yourself through the anger that you're feeling. Answer yourself through the love that you feel for them. because we can be angry and we can hate someone, but we can still love them underneath all of that. So ask yourself that question: how would I feel if I didn't get a chance to put it right? So even if you don't want to have a conversation with somebody, send a card, a letter, flowers, something. I'm thinking of you, or I love you, or just to let you know. I remember years ago, my daughter and I having a huge fight over something or another, and she determined she was never going to speak to me ever again. I wasn't going to let that happen. So I would call, and she had caller ID. She knew it was me. And I'd call and I'd just say, I know you might be busy. I'm just calling to say I love you. And then I would call again the next day and the next day. And sometimes I'd call 2 or 3 times in a day until one day she got so fed up with me. She'd stop calling me. No, I'm not going to stop calling you, my daughter, and I love you. Don't let things get out of hand. Be pushy. And if the worst comes to the worst, just go knock on the door and sort it out. Okay. All right, Chris.
All right. Janet was just asking, what do you do if they won't talk? I'm not sure if what you just said answered that question.
Go knock on the door. Just go bang on the door. Don't give up. If you can't change somebody else's mind, if they truly just don't ever want to talk to you again, you can still send a card saying thinking about you. You can send a card saying just wanted to let you know I love you. Valentine's Day's coming up. What better opportunity? You can't change other people's mind, but as long as you have done the best that you can do. My best would be knocking on the door, which I did once to friends. And it turned out, the simplest thing, he was deaf and he thought I'd said one thing. And in fact, I'd said something entirely differently. And he sort of not wanting to admit at that time that he was deaf and couldn't hear very well. He was just being stubborn. And I just, in the end, after a few weeks of, trying my best, I thought, oh, forget this. And I just drove over to their house, knocked on the door, and we sat and talked. And if you sit and talk in the right way with no aggression, and you're not going in there to prove that you're right, you're just going in there to say it doesn't matter who's right and it doesn't matter who's wrong. What matters is our friendship, or what matters is our love for each other, whatever it is. Go in with the right attitude. You can't force other people to accept you, but as long as you know that you've done as much as you can do and that you did it with a good heart. I always say to people, here's something I want you all to ask yourself, for those of you who are in this situation particularly, and would you rather, so here's my question, would you rather be right, excuse me, or would you rather be happy? Because sometimes you can't be both. And I know people who have determined that they'd rather be right than happy. You can't change that for someone else. You can just feel very sad for them. There are lots of people, unfortunately, there are more people than you would ever think possible who would rather be right than happy. But that's their choice to make. At the end of the day, you can't change that. What you can do is to make sure you did the best that you could do. Chris.
Janina and Henrik are saying good morning.
Oh, hello, darlings. We're going for lunch in a bit.
Kay says, it's good to hear your common sense and wisdom, Rosemary. Love you. Just take care.
I love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
And then we have Betta saying, dear Rosemary.
Betta, I missed you, Betta. How are you?
She's saying, I recently discovered that my husband was a scammer and a cheater. He abandoned me and my 2 children for 3 months, and I got sick from the shock. Will I recover? Yes,
Betta, you will. Because I've known you for, a long time. Now, for those of you listening, Betta and I have never met, but she's been a stalwart supporter, and Betty, you've been great. And I think that what you've just told us explains so many of the things in the past that you've struggled with. You've struggled to try and make things right. You've struggled to try and get things on track. You have such a good heart, and you've always wanted things to be right. And if you've had this situation, then of course you've never been able to put it right because you never knew the situation. So I think having dealt with all of the stuff that went on in the past, you are so much stronger than you think you are. And hey, you can do this. You can be strong, and you can be forward thinking. And I think it's time you put yourself first now, above and beyond your family. As much as you might love them, I think it's time for you better. So get on with it. Chris.
All right, we've had a couple of questions about, are you doing consultations?
Well, I'm trying, I'm trying my best, and yes, yes, I am. But if you book a consultation with me, which you're very welcome to do, please understand that, for instance, this week, unfortunately, my voice completely went on Tuesday, and I had to let some people down, and I'm so sorry. And if you're listening, please accept my apologies. We will fit you in as soon as we possibly can. That I can promise you. So yes, I would suggest, if you want a consultation, book it and keep your fingers crossed, as will I. Yeah, I'm not. Don't think I'm. Don't think I'm retired. Don't think I'm. You're going to throw me on the rubbish heap yet. Even though for the first time ever, I went to the senior centre this week. That was it this week? Yes, I came from the doctor's office to the senior centre because I had a question that I thought they might be able to help me with. Anyway, so they have all sorts of activities. It looks like it's a lot of fun there. So, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be stopping doing what I'm doing. It doesn't mean I'm going to be stopping working. I'll never stop work until either my voice goes, my back goes, or I'm up there. I will always do what I love to do the most, which is to connect with the spirit world. So please don't write me off. Okay, Chris, next question.
We've had a number of, I think, Italian people show up on your live show, writing in Italian, and unfortunately, I don't know what they're saying.
Okay. We love you. Amore, amore, amore. Write in English, please. Get on Google Translate. Of course, they're Italian. They might not understand what I'm saying. Italian, English. Italian, English. Come on, everybody. Get with the program. We don't speak Italian. I'm trying to think how to say that. Non comprehend Italiano. So English only, right? Google. Everybody knows what Google is, right, Chris? That's the best I can do. That's it. I'm done now.
And we're at time, so that's good timing overall.
It is. Well, let me just say, before my voice goes completely, thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for not giving up on me. I do love you all. I really appreciate it. I would like to say, first of all, of course, thank you to Chris. Thank you to all of you for joining us. Thank you to Mary Lou, who's sort of she's here to take me out to lunch. I'm going out to lunch, right? And of course, last but by no means least, thank you to my spirit guide, Grey Eagle, because without him, we wouldn't be here and doing this anyway. Hopefully, I will see you all again next week. Keep going to the website, keep checking in with us, because we will be doing some stuff. We need to do a cracking up, right, Kay? We need to do a cracking up show, and we need to get going on some of our lessons. Yes, the power symbols and the power animals. We need to know all about that, and the crystals. Let's not forget the crystals. But So until I see you all again, please, which hopefully will be next Thursday morning, same time, same place. Please, everyone, have a very, very blessed rest of the day and have a very blessed weekend, everybody.